Are you going out tonight or this weekend? If so, you looking good. So now, why don't you get to smell good? Get your body oil only at the Playa T Oil Shop. Stop in or call us. 216-355-9702. Get yours today. Oil Shop. Smell good. So good, so good to me.
Yeah, you going to jail now. Y'all remember them famous words, right? I really hate to bring that stuff up because it was really a travesty on both sides. You know, both sides. A lot of you know who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, but if you're not familiar, an incident not too long ago happened in Cleveland where a bus driver was assaulted by a young woman, and he took the law into his own hands, maybe because he was provoked by being spat upon and hit, and he got up and, you know, after screaming, "You going to jail now," and proceeded to knock this woman out. It didn't work. She got hit with a Pacquiao punch. She didn't get knocked out, but she got hit with a wallop. But who wants to be on the bus when something like that goes down? I mean, because this woman could have had her friends and they could have started popping off in mass casualties. Or he could have lost control of the bus. Something has to be done. And today we have Miss Yvonne Conwell, District 7 County Councilwoman. Now, Yvonne has sponsored legislation requesting that the Ohio General Attorney make it a felony to assault a bus driver. Huh? Yeah. I mean, I think we need to make some changes. We need to visit those type of things. Yeah. You know? How you doing, Yvonne? Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Playa T.
Now, let me ask you a question. When did you get wind of this incident and how?
Ooh. Well, actually, I got wind to it coming to see this show. I was on the show and you were standing up doing your stand-up comedy.
Right.
And you actually I was in the audience. And as not as a participant, but as an audience person, and you were stating, what had just happened, and I was kind of out of the loop at what had been going down in the city of Cleveland because I'm moving and shaking and doing a lot, so I don't have time to watch TV or the news, and I can't believe that I learned about it right here.
Right?
I was appalled.
So what you do? Went back home and looked it up and everything like that? Well, you couldn't help it. It was everywhere.
I got on YouTube, like everybody. Like
YouTube University. You know what I mean? YouTube University, man. Were you appalled by that stuff?
I was appalled, but I first want to say that I was told before the camera got on me not to say anything obscene or anything by Hollywood Chucky. But this topic is kind of obscene, of what it creates and puts the potential harm, not just for the bus driver, but for the people, like you stated, on the bus, and the ones that are next to that bus driving or walking across the street if an incident occurs. So that's the concern of, the elected officials here in Cuyahoga County, as well as the city of Cleveland.
Now, that phenomenon is increasing around the country where, bus drivers are being assaulted, or the bus, period. Matter of fact, someone just shot off of a bus. I believe it was in Chicago. I mean, what? I mean, it goes down on the bus. I mean, come on now. So now everybody, they take that as a means of transportation to work, not just because they have to get on the bus. It's not we shouldn't care about that because it's only poor people riding the bus. No, this is a safety issue all the way around in the community, period.
Correct.
So now you've sponsored this legislation, a resolution, R 2012-0241. Now, let's talk about that. You said it had its origination with your husband, which is City Councilman Kevin Conwell, right?
Correct.
Now, what did he nudge you? Say, Yvonne, maybe you should take a look at this legislation right here. Maybe you could do something for the district.
Well, actually, with the big incident with the young lady, I'm not in the arena to know if she attacked him or what transpired. I wasn't on the bus, so I don't really know about that. But The president of the ATU, which stands for the Amalgamated Transit Union, the president's name is William Nix, and he is concerned because he is the president of the bus drivers that are getting hurt. He had a meeting and a breakfast with me and my husband, as well as our Congresswoman Marcia Fudge, to talk about this issue. And we know on a city level, which my husband represents as Ward 9, and on a county level, we can't change laws. The way it's set up in the state of Ohio, downstate has to change the laws. We can only urge someone through a resolution what they need to do. So, this legislation has been actually down. I can't think of the exact bill number, but someone had pushed it before. Okay. And it never went anywhere. Right. And what we're asking in the resolution, we're actually urging the state of Ohio, the General Assembly, to take a look at the felony laws. Right. There's nothing on the records to someone that attacks a bus driver to have any consequences, basically. Right. And we wanted to make that, very eligible, possible. So we figure if the state of Ohio doesn't listen to the city of Cleveland, as well as the county, one of the counties out of the great state of Ohio, that this is what is needed, right. Not just for Cuyahoga County or the right. city of Cleveland, but all over
Ohio, right?
And nationally.
Right.
So that's why we sat down and actually had breakfast with Congresswoman Marcia Fudge.
Now, was Congresswoman Fudge open to what you guys were meeting and eating about?
Yes, she is. She can't put pressure, so to speak, on the state, but she can look at it on a national level, and she was actually going to have her cabinet look into the various, of course, her listening to William Nix, giving his statistics and ours. Of course, she has to do her own due diligence, but she was very positive.
Right, so she's maybe drawn it up in her mind to form a task force to look into the books,
right.
Look into the situations.
But it's on each state to do, to right. pass their individual laws.
Right. Wow, that's big, right? Yeah, we need that. Now I gotta applaud you and your husband to care enough to want to meet with Marcia Fudge and to discuss these issues. Have you spoken to the bus driver himself? Have you ever had a conversation with him?
No,
Has anybody ever took his opinion into it?
I personally haven't. Because I know his case is actually going through investigation with RTA and,
so
his union.
So is he still on with the RTO, or did they fire him or suspend him?
I believe they fired the gentleman. But, in having that breakfast with William Nix, it was also learned that there's, not just this gentleman's case, but there have been 75 assaults since 2005 on RTA bus drivers. This is only one incident that we heard about. We didn't hear about any of those other 74. Right. And that's a big number when you're talking about, when you're looking at a safety issue.
Right.
And how many people can be affected with that bus. That bus is a weapon. Right. If that foot comes, gets lodged in the brake or on the gas pedal or anything like that, it could take out some of our children. We just lost some children in this nation, and we don't want to lose any more. Well, the transit police are not on the bus. That was some they might be on the rapids, but that was some discussion. Do we need some people on there that's actually some police on the buses, or will it be a cheaper thing if we put maybe a shield on there? There's all kind of discussions going on for the bus drivers.
So you guys were discussing things that you can immediately implement that can help.
Well, our focus, me and Councilman Conwell's, was on the safety.
Right.
You have to push that safety issue. Of course, RTA doesn't want to spend money on putting that. I believe the news stated it was about $2,000 to $3,000 per bus if you're going to get some kind of shield protectant for the bus driver. Right. So they don't want to spend that. But what we have to do as legislators, we have to bring their focus, as well as downstate. They have to be able to listen to their city council person and their county council person. This is what's going on in our neighborhoods for all of our constituents, because my constituents are the same ones for state of Ohio. They vote for them down there, and they need to listen. And they don't know if we don't bring it on a show like this, or push some legislation to make them aware of what's going on. They might not be aware.
In your opinion, Ms. Conwell, the people can do to help your resolution gain attention and actually reach people downstate to where there's legislation that gets passed? In your opinion, what can the people do to help that?
They can contact President William Nix and ask him from a union standpoint if there needs to be some marches or something downstate, how they can organize and get together so they can listen to the people that their safety every day is being affected. This business here in particular, if something is going on a bus and it's going down the street and that bus losing control, it can come into this window and hurt us. So it's not, this is a big issue. And so, across this, I believe in the state of Ohio already we have, there's some felonies against people that attack cab drivers, felonies that attack postal workers, but we don't have anything on the books for transit workers. Right. And that is in an urban community and all across Cuyahoga County. Right. The western part of the county uses buses as well. Right. And I believe that incident that happened that we all went to YouTube to watch was in Shaker. So it doesn't just happen in the urban community. This is a safety issue, especially for, our children.
I think those bus drivers, a lot of them was losing their manners too, though. You are. I mean, they got a tough job, but a lot of them are losing their manners, So, on that end too, you can be more mannerable, more cordial. Let me ask you a question, Yvonne. Now, was Mr. Nix there at you guys' urging? How did the meeting come about, the meeting of the minds? Did he call you guys up? You called him? Or you're not at liberty to speak, or what?
No, he didn't call us. This is something, when you hear and see what the big ruckus was on the YouTube and how, you look at it not for just the episode or what happened on the bus, but you have to look at it from how can we change policy to make it safer, not just for the bus drivers. So everybody's focused on, and that is a human life.
It's the community.
It is the community as well. Everybody on that bus. And first of all, of course, we have a lot of mental health issues out here because when I looked at it, from my personal perspective, I wouldn't have attacked nobody driving me on the bus.
No, I wouldn't.
Because I'm hurt. So.
Yeah, right. I mean, lately it seems like mental health issues has been at the root of a lot of problems going on in America. Maybe we need to start looking into those resources and things of that nature. I don't know. So you guys basically reached out to him and said, hey, we want to meet with you, we want to discuss what we can do for policy change and have safety for the community.
Exactly.
And how was he open? Obviously, he was open. He came to it.
Very open to it.
No, he was very open.
Very open to it because his job is to fight for that bus driver and how they're losing their jobs. Right. And if you're faced with every day somebody attacking you, and the conversation that you guys were having about the buses pulling off or whatever, but I think if you ride, pretty much all the bus drivers ride the same route every day, so they know the characters that are going to get on that bus.
That's true.
And they also have to know how to shield and what kind of
they
have to gear up. Yeah, they got to get ready. And actually
yeah, because if little Ray getting on, and he want to fire up his paraphernalia, he want to fire it up, he want to turn the radio boom box up, I probably would kind of pass him too,
Right. It's going to be a hectic day.
Right.
Do you really want to deal with that today?
Right.
You might have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You don't want to deal with that.
Right. So we, help Yvonne out, help the community out. Call up Mr. Nix. What's his name again?
William Nix. He's the president of ATU.
That's what you do. We want to thank you, Miss Yvonne Conwell, for coming out. Do you believe anything will happen toward that?
Well, I did like the part how dedicated Councilman Conwell and William Nix was. They took a ride on the bus. They said, let's get on the bus and let's ride up and down the bus for about a week and let's see the activity. Let's just sit back in the cut and see the activity that goes on so they could get the other side.
Cab putting on for the community.
Yeah. Good. Rolling bean pie. The best on earth. Baked freshly daily. Rolling bean pie. Get yours today. Call us at area code 216-355-9702. We will deliver to you. Call us. Get yours now. Bean pie. It's good. Yeah, I love it.